Valet thief horror story. Romero's been a valet all over California for more than 2 years now. He's a thief who enjoys stealing from the rich. On the night of October 30th, his evil ways was met with an evil 10 times greater than he's ever been. The night was windy, and fine dining restaurant was nearly packed to capacity. Cars were rolling in non-stop, and Romero was licking his chops. He knew that time was approaching for him to basically take his pick of the litter. Dozens of Porsches, Lamborghinis, and Rolls Royces filled the valet parking lot, but none of them were good enough for Romero. He had his sights set on something way more expensive than any of those cars that already showed up. Rent's due, child support's due, and Romero has a huge thing for gambling and prostitutes. It's habits that he can't control. He's more than $500,000 in the hole. He's in debt higher than the ceiling of his penthouse suite. It's ridiculous that he knows the habits he has caused him to live the life that he lives, but he could care less about that. All he cares about is money and making even more each week. Him being a valet is just a cover-up for his thieving ways. He doesn't work because he has to. He works because the judge on his last case forced him to. He owes thousands in restitution, and he plans on paying that debt all off tonight. Car after car pulled up, not to catch his attention, until a Bugatti Veyron pulled up near the main entrance of the restaurant. Romero's heart raced as his eyes widened. No hesitation, he rushed over to open the door up for this caramel beauty queen who was a perfect 10. Her looks were attention-grabbing. However, her car is what held Romero's attention. "I'll park this beauty for you, beautiful," he spoke. Patrice giggled at his kindness. "Thank you," she stated before she handed him a couple $100 bills. "Don't scratch it, dent it, or crash it, or I'll do far worse to you," she said. She didn't laugh at all. Seriousness sat on her face as she locked eyes with Romero. "Of course, your car is in great hands," he replied. Patrice nodded her head before heading into the restaurant. Romero wasn't shaken by her words at all. His mind is already made up about what he needs to do. This is it. This is his final job, and he's not looking back at all. He hopped into the Bugatti and he floored it. He accelerated to 100 miles per hour in a matter of seconds. He called up his homie Julio, who owns the finest chop shop in town. Julio answered, and Romero easily took control of the conversation. "Listen, my guy," he spoke. "I have a Bugatti Veyron right now, brand fucking new. It's all black, with 157 miles on it. I need you to cash me out tonight. I just need to know how much you'll give me for it." Julio didn't respond in a hurry, as Romero hoped. "I'll give you $875K right now," says Julio. Romero shook his head. He knows the debt he owes with the lifestyle he lives. $875,000 won't be enough. "I'll find someone else," says Romero, knowing he truly has no one else to go to. However, he's negotiated with Julio for far too long. He knows just how to get him. Okay, I have $950K for you in an hour. Straight cash, homie. Romero agreed and informed him that he would be there in 30 minutes. As he raced to meet up with Julio, Patrice exited from the restaurant after receiving a call about her next assassination. She stepped out of the restaurant looking for Romero, but she spotted a couple of valet guys instead. Maybe he's parking someone else's vehicle, she thought, until she approached the other two valet guys to ask about her car and their co-worker. Their looks said it all as they gazed over at each other. He must be parking another vehicle, one of them said. Patrice gave him the benefit of the doubt until nearly 10 minutes passed and she reached her boiling point. Where the fuck is he? She asked as she revealed her gun. The valet guys panicked. We don't know, they both said. Patrice, overcome with anger, decided to check her phone for her car's tracking. Her car's miles away on the other side of town, and that could only mean one thing. Patrice looked both valet guys in the eyes. They're terrified. One of them pissed their pants. I'll see you both in hell, she said, just before she shot them both dead. Patrice made a phone call to her close friend who arrived to pick her up in a matter of minutes, and they headed off to track down Romero and her vehicle. The money arrived in duffel bags that Julio was waiting for to hand over to Romero. Romero was all smiles as he announced his retirement to Julio. I think this is my last job. Psych. Well, maybe not, Romero says as he started counting up some of the money in the duffel bags. As a matter of fact, you know what? I don't think I'm done just yet. Romero went to shake Julio's hand as they both were all smiles until a bullet flew into Julio's neck, then his skull. Romero turned around to spot that lovely caramel vixen standing alongside the dark chocolate beauty. They both were holding guns bigger than Shaq as they began shooting everyone present. Romero attempted to flee the scene until he felt two shots to his knees, causing him to collapse onto the floor. The sound of high heels striking the floor was all that he could hear as he turned over on his back to face Patrice. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, he says. You can have it all. The money, the cars, everything. Just please don't kill me, he begged. Patrice's seriousness vanished as she began to smile. Oh, everything here now belongs to me regardless, she says. Everything here, including your soul. Patrice raised the barrel of her gun to face Romero, who began to beg for his life even more. His words meant nothing to her as she unloaded the bullets in her gun into Romero.